Yeah, I do, because I've been seeing a biblical counselor during all of that.
All of that is involved.
Mentally and emotionally, or spiritually and mentally or emotionally, I'm better than I've ever been in my
Probably
whole life,
so. I bet you are. I bet you
really
are. I bet you are. They all go together. But there's usually some residual stuff that's a little trickier to work with sometimes. And so you might want to examine that. And I don't want to go out and digress, but I will say that those aspects of healing should not be dismissed, the spiritual, mental, and emotional. So I know we talk, I'm as much of a biochemistry geek as anybody, and I love the nutrition side of it, but that always needs to be recognized. Keep up the good work, Cindy. Liquid nutrients, watch the diet, stabilize blood sugar, deep breathing techniques, hot water, hot showers, massages, relaxation. Keep going with your biblical counselor, and you're doing great. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I want to get a couple more in. Thanks, Cindy. Take care. Okay, Mike in Colorado. Welcome to the bright side. What's up, Mike? Do we have Mike?
Oh, it's Mike.
Hey, Mike. What's going on, man?
Oh, not much, Ben. I'll try and be real brief. 63-year-old male. I've had undiagnosed pain in my lower left abdomen, now my whole abdomen. For about 9 years, I had...
What do you mean undiagnosed? You just diagnosed yourself. What are you talking about, undiagnosed?
Well, I got a pain, but nobody can tell me what it is.
Okay.
I've had CAT scans, MRIs.
All right. Here's the deal with pain. Okay. Pain is a sign that the nerves, there's inflammatory tissue around the nerves. And that means there's inflammation in your body. Pain equals inflammation. It's how inflammation is perceived when it affects the nerves. So when you have pain, you have inflammation. When you have inflammation, you have a defensive response. The inflammatory system is how defense shows up. When you have a defensive response, it's all about the blood. This is the key. Okay, Mike, I'm glad you brought this up. I want everybody to hear this. When you have an undiagnosed, as you're calling it, or a sort of vague or a generalized symptom where it affects your whole body, like chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, when you have these kinds of issues, or pain that you can't figure out, you've got an inflammatory issue, which means you have a defensive issue. When you have a defensive issue, you have a blood issue, because that's really what the defensive response is about, the blood. Are you with me?
Yeah, and I just went to the doctor, and he told me I had blood in my stool.
Okay, well, that's a little bit different, but that's a little bit different, but there's probably some... Let me get to my point here. Dirty blood is what all disease is about. In the Bible, it says the blood is the life, and they weren't kidding. Think about it.
Amen.
The blood circulates the entire body. Every single one of the 100 trillion cells are united by the blood. So when you have a degenerative disease, when we have immune disease, when we have inflammatory disease, when we have pain, chronic pain, when we have chronic fatigue, when we're sick in any way, we have dirty blood. Doctors call it sepsis, S-E-P-S-I-S. That's the fancy word for it. It means dirty blood. I call it toxemia, toxins in the blood. And it's why we have this epidemic of disease. It's dirty blood. We violated the sanctity of the holiest of holies, which is the blood, through food mostly, but through other things too. But food is mostly what it is. Now, blood in the stool tells me you most certainly have a digestive issue, but I could have told you that before. So you got to focus on the digestive system, Mike. I wouldn't be, with blood in the stool and this kind of pain, I would not eat for a couple of days. Fast. I know it might be a little difficult. You might think it's a little difficult. Whatever, you're going to feel better. It's really that's a must for you at this point. All right. Okay. You'll notice when you start eating up again. First, you're going to notice that your pain starts to subside. Okay. That's one of the major things that's going to happen. Now, obviously you have to eat, but so what's going to happen 2 days after you eat or after you fast, when you start eating again, you're going to start noticing things. You're going to notice that all of a sudden you eat this kind of food or you eat any food and something's going to happen inside your body that you didn't notice before that was going under the radar. Are you with me?
Uh-huh.
Are you with me? Yes, seriously? Because they're very important. Okay? And then try to be as kind to your body. Eat as gently as possible. Soups, liquids, eat caloric restriction. Don't eat when you don't want. And then patch up the digestive system. Probiotics, the biolumin nightly essence are a must-have. Digestive enzymes will give you two benefits. If you use the ultimate enzymes with food, they'll help you digest your food. And if you use the ultimate enzymes on an empty stomach, they'll help with the inflammatory pain. You definitely want to be on the Healthy Start Pack. If you want some quick relief, you might try the CM Cream. but I'm guessing that you got some stuff that's going on inside in terms of the digestive system. The digestive system is how things get into the blood, okay? The blood is a circle. It's the circulatory system. Through the digestive system and the respiratory system, and occasionally through the skin, that's how stuff gets in the blood. Now, the vast majority of it is the digestive system. It's all about dirty blood, but the blood becomes dirty from the digestive system. That's really where the rubber meets the road, at the intestine, where the food meets the blood. Now, under ideal circumstances, that will all get processed through the stomach and the pancreas and the gallbladder, the liver. All of these systems are in place to make sure the stuff gets processed correctly before it gets into the blood. At this rubber meets the road juncture, where the blood meets where the food meets the blood, at the intestine. Over time, that breaks down. The blood becomes septic. It becomes dirty. Toxemia ensues. Because the blood circulates to all the cells of the body, anything is possible at that point, including and especially circulatory issues, which, oh, by the way, are the number one cause of death and disease and destruction. Why do you think that is? Circulatory health issues, heart disease and hypertension and blood clotting and aneurysms and strokes, et cetera, that's the number one way we drop dead. Why? Because our blood is dirty, and I'm including sugar as a component, as part of that dirt. Sugar is worse than dirt. It's a toxin to the blood after a certain amount is in there. This is the key to everything. There's no doctors here. This is not a doctor issue. Am I making sense, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so focus on the digestive system. Get on the Mighty 90. Do the I forgot to mention the Fuchs Z and the Z Radical, in addition to the Ultimate Enzymes and the probiotics. The Biolumin Nightly Essence, apple cider vinegar after meals can help. Fermented foods can help. There's lots of strategies.
And what
yes?
pack did you say?
Healthy Start. There's a digestive pack. I would do the Healthy Start pack, then the Z Radical or the Fuchs Z, and then the Ultimate Enzymes. And if you want to throw one more thing in, the glucogel caps, because they're made with glucosamine that helps stimulate the production of connective tissue, they can have some benefits for building the lining, the intestinal lining. Got to move. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for your call, Mike, and thanks for listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information. 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Have an awesome, spectacular, beautiful day. Bye for now.